So today we are riding the entire Durham region section of the Trans-Canada Trail. It started where you saw me start the video there. Unfortunately, there was a lot of construction going on, so couldn't really record there. But anyways, today I'm on my Super73 electric bike. Got a 100-kilometer section of the Trans-Canada Trail to do. Likely it's going to take me 3 days, 2 nights. Got everything I need with me, so I'm set. The only problem is going to be finding places to camp. Or at least I'm going to try and do this whole section anyways. We all know how my last few trips have gone. But yeah, this is what I'm dealing with here. I'm riding right by the lake. Flying through a crowd of bugs. Tasty. Got 23 point something kilometers to the first charging stop. This bike can only do probably 25 kilometers on a single charge. That remains to be seen, especially with how cold it is today. Just starting out, the battery's already taking a bit of a nosedive here. We'll see. So obviously I've got my electric skateboard that I normally do these sorts of trips on. I can do 50 kilometers on a single charge. I got 3 big batteries for it now, and it only takes 3 hours to fully charge from empty to full. But it's good to show that you can do this on basically any electric ride. But like, this is a stock off-the-shelf Super73, and this can only do, I could probably only do 25 kilometers on a single charge using just the battery. And it's gonna take 5 hours to recharge this thing. I'm gonna have a lot of downtime on this trip. Yeah, thanks for joining me on this one. It's gonna be an interesting one. It's late April, but it's pretty cold. It's actually in the single digits right now. It's like, last I checked, I think it was like 6 degrees Celsius right now. Hands are actually cold, but I need my gloves off in order to manipulate my phone and the camera and that. First stop is a grocery store. That's going to be our first charging stop for the day. And then we have another lake to get to. Probably going to wind up stealth camping tonight because there's no motels or anything of the sort in the direction that we got to go on the trail. Oh, as to not nuke my battery, I will be walking it up steep hills like this. So yeah. This is the Durham section of the Trans-Canada Trail. It doesn't look like much, it's just a bunch of side roads and lakeshore trail. But this is part of a trail network that connects the entirety of Canada. Basically every province, every territory. If I followed this far enough, I could get all the way to the Yukon. But that's a little bit beyond the scope of this trip. So yeah, not much to show right now, just cruising through residential neighborhoods. That's basically how the Durham section of the Trans-Canada Trail starts. It actually passes by pretty close to where I live, which is how I found out about it in the first place. Into this with the skateboard. Weather looks good, it's not calling for any rain. I'm trying to get out and do a lot of these trips this year. So I've been talking about it. Cybertruck's not here yet. Some of the sections of this trail and the lakefront trail that it follows is definitely really beautiful, especially this part here. A little bit too cold for it, but I'd love to come back here when I have an electric surfboard and go for a few splashes down the coast. Alright, now for the fun part. There's sand. Man, this sand is rough. I stopped about 3/4 of the way through. So yeah, now that I have a quiet place to film, this is what I'm riding. Super73 electric bike. So yeah, pretty stock. It's got I think it's a 1 kilowatt hour battery pack, but it does not go 50 kilometers like my skateboard does. The temperature this morning certainly not helping. Oh, what a beautiful spot though. That's the marina we just passed by. A few people out on boats. Down this end, it's already had ice out and the larger bodies of water. So a lot of canoeists and kayakers in. Okay, quick drink of water and back to it. Downside to having fat tires. The downside to having fat tires is that it's really inefficient for the battery because there's a lot of surface contact. But on the plus side, I can coast over some pretty gnarly terrain. It's really useful in winter when there's a lot of snow and stuff around. My phone mount is getting a little loose. I think it was definitely a smart idea to bring all of the Allen keys and stuff that I needed. All the various sizes. Zip ties, wrench, outlet splitter, zip tie cutter, duct tape, and a few more Allen key sizes, and my battery charger. So a smart man would have brought some inner tubes and some sealant, but seeing as I'm only out here for a couple days and I haven't bothered to purchase some extra inner tubes yet, we're rolling without them, so hopefully that's not gonna work against me. Not sure how much I trust this water because we are right next to a nuclear power plant. That's the Pickering nuclear power plant. You can tell because of all the crazy barbed wire that's going all around it. I want to get up close to the fence and see. If you're hiking the Trans-Canada Trail through this section, it's probably not a good idea to fill up your water right there. Cool. Where I live, I'm actually sandwiched between this plant and then there's one further to the east. And there was one day we actually got a accidental alert that some crazy shit was going down at this plant. Oh man, a lot of people got freaked out over that one. It was supposed to be a test, but it wasn't marked as a test, so it was like a legit alert that the plant was having some meltdown issues. Okay, back on paved trail. Time to skedaddle. Oh, the clouds of bugs are insane. They're splattering in my eye. I can't see, even with my sunglasses on. Like here, let me take my helmet off and show you. Look at this. They're all over me. Oh man, so many potentially great stealth campsites down this way. And here's where we turn. I found this little side trail. I gotta use the bathroom, so I'm gonna explore it for a second here. I'm already starting to see why the Trans-Canada Trail is laid out on the route that it takes, because even here in densely populated Greater Toronto area, it takes bike routes that pass through green spaces where, like, look at this. This is like prime stealth camp spot right here. Very rarely trodden trail. It's a dirt trail. There's no trespassing signs or anything like that. It's city-owned property. Yeah, pretty neat. Can't stop here for the day because still got a long ways to go. But yeah, I really hope it's like this for the entire route. That way, finding spots to stay overnight won't be too difficult. Oh. Got about roughly 9 kilometers to go. All right, let's get there. This is neat. The actual TCT route is actually taking me down some of these dirt trails. Nice to know it's not all paved. It's good to get out here and explore a little bit. But it also makes me happy that I tried this with the bike and not the skateboard. Skateboard would definitely have a sketchy time with some of these trails. I also got a scooter recently, a 9bot Max G30 LP. It might be able to handle these trails too in their current state. And anything more gnarly than this is a no-go. Yeah, the mud's so bad in this little section right here that I gotta walk the bike over it. But after that, it looks clean and clear to ride again. Oh, all right, back and away we go. Actually, yeah, it's not the only gnarly trails like this that I'm gonna have to handle today. It's hard to hold the GoPro with one hand and steer around all this shit with the other. Oh, this is really cool. Really happy I got out here on this trail. Avoid the mud. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, okay. Trail's starting to get a little muddy. Yeah, it's starting to get a little gnarly. Oh, there's a little pass around there. Start to do these sorts of trips, you start getting into the habit of checking every building you pass for outlets to charge. Like that building that we just passed, there was an outlet on the outside. I could have tested it to see if I could charge there, but yeah, it's weird the habits that you get into. So this is the section right here I was saying that passes by my place. My place is like a 10-minute walk that way. Whenever I hit the highway, this is the gas station I normally stop at, just to give you some perspective at how close I am to home. We're getting close to our first charging stop. Damn it. I just got my dedicated bike lane and now it ends. Back up onto the sidewalk, I guess. I really like how the TCT takes you through as much like actual trail as possible. There's a lot of roads and stuff mixed in too, and paved trail. But then there's this, it's like nicely groomed-ish gravel and dirt trails. And like I keep saying, man, lots of potential stealth campsites. Like, look, you could disappear in there for 3 days and not have to worry about getting found out. So I'm starting to get a little optimistic about finding places to camp out tonight. So we'll see. Generally, I start looking at about 5, 6 o'clock this time of year. Gives me lots of light to find a place, but I don't have to kill too much time before I actually go in and set up camp. And back out to civilization. I'm gonna go left up this road here. At least I get a dedicated bike lane. And I'm spoiled for choice. I got a bike path and a dedicated bike lane. Yeah, getting close to my first charging stop. Good thing too, because my battery is starting to run super low. This parish here. I'll scout it out. Looking for outlets. Not seeing any over here. Looking for power outlets. Ooh. But what to my wondering eyes do appear but a set of outlets. Oh. Oh. Nice. Now I gotta test it for power. Alright, before we get all excited, I gotta check and make sure it's got power running to it. So, the outlet tester that I've shown you guys in the past, really good for checking an outlet to make sure it's got power. Not getting anything on that. Oh yeah, we're getting power. The outlet tester didn't detect anything. So plug you in like that. And now we wait for 5 hours. Actually, I gotta plug in the outlet splitter so I can charge some other stuff too. It is 10:22 right now. I'm only a little bit behind schedule. So I'm gonna set an alarm. I'll set that for 5 hours. Hopefully it finishes before then, but it's 10:22 right now. That puts me done charging at almost 3:30. Outlet splitter, bike battery. Sit pet. Okay. Hopefully no one comes and asks me to leave. I'm gonna keep to myself and not bother anybody. It's Friday, so it's not really particularly anybody here. There's a few cars in the parking lot, but it always seems to be like churches and parishes that seem to have outlets on the outside that work. If you watched my 300-kilometer skatepacking attempt video, it was the same thing. It was a church that I stopped and charged at. Okay, so it was a little bit more than what I measured out. I measured 23 point something. My GPS track measured 25 kilometers, which is not bad. I was using the motor on that pretty much the entire way, rarely pedaling, and it got me 25 kilometers, so that's not bad. Battery started getting pretty depleted. Yeah, by the time I got here, it was on the final bar of the 4-bar display, and it was blinking, telling me, hey, you might want to stop and charge soon. Took me 2 hours to do that first leg. It's not bad. With the bike, unlike the skateboard, I don't get slowed down when I gotta stop and carry it through like gnarly trails. So I don't think I've ever showed you this before, but you know how I'm always trying to use different 3D printed things on my trips? Well, one of the things I use that's been with me pretty consistently is it's a 3D printed SD card holder. So it's what I use to hold all my SD cards for filming. So obviously I got one in the GoPro that's filming me right now. My helmet GoPro's got one in there, and I got a couple extras to swap out as needed. I got a 64 gig, and I just picked up yesterday another 256 gig. Alright, so here's the charging setup we got going on here. Just a outlet splitter that I picked up from the dollar store, splits one outlet into 3. Got my bike charger pulling off of that. Then I got a USB converter that lets me run 2 USB off of it. I got my helmet GoPro charging, and I got the 1 GoPro battery that I've used so far on this trip charging. Once that's done, I'll charge my phone up to top it off as well. Oh, okay, I got a few hours ahead of me at least. I'm gonna bum around here and eat some food and wait for this stuff to finish charging. Bag full of food. I have enough here for technically 3 days. I've already done 1/4 of the Durham section of the Trans-Canada Trail. It's only 100 kilometers, it's just shy, and we've done 25 so far. So we're gonna make some noodles. And I really don't care how weird I look in the middle of an urban area using my gas stove. After searching for a while, I finally managed to find some gas canisters. For a while there, they were super hard to find, man. I've had this one for a while. So I recently kitted out my wife with the whole backpacking setup. And I got her just to show you how long I've been looking, I got her a gas stove for Christmas. And it was only like a few weeks ago that I finally managed to find some gas canisters to give her to go with it. Yeah, this is the new one. This is the untouched one. And it's gonna get quite chilly this weekend. I mean, if you've watched my other videos, you know I'm no stranger to camping in cold temperatures. I've camped in minus 27 degrees Celsius temperature without accounting for the wind chill. With this kit here, I did make some changes to my sleep setup. I'm running my tent instead of my tarp. It just lets me keep a lower profile if I have to stealth camp. But with my sleep setup, I'm good down to minus 10 degrees Celsius. So I'm set for whatever this throws at me. I think the coldest it's gonna get, I think it said 0, which is fine. I've slept in that quite a few times. Not your traditional entertainment, that's for sure. All the other outdoors Ontario YouTubers are out in the bush doing all their bushcrafty stuff, and here's me cooking noodles on a gas stove in the middle of the city. Good old salty cup of noodles. So that right there, that's the motor. That's a hub motor. It's only, I think, a 500 watt motor. My skateboard's got 1,000 watts, got a lot more torque. Oh yeah, super salty. I'll try my hardest to complete the next leg in under 2 hours. And it's going to be a complex lake. I was looking at it on Google Maps. This is the one that takes me through all sorts of hiking trails and stuff like that. So I'm just digging around, seeing what overnight options there are at my next destination. So there's a bed and breakfast up real close to where my next charging stop would otherwise be. I was planning on stealth camping, but I might try that bed and breakfast. I'm thinking about making that bed and breakfast my next destination. I can stop there, spend the night there, charge my battery overnight, live it up bouge style instead of camping out in the woods. And it's not cheap either. It's I think the cheapest room they have available right now is $175. I don't know, I'm undecided. So I've never been to a bed and breakfast before, so I'm kind of reading up on it to prep myself in case I need to go there on etiquette and stuff like that. The more I read about it, the more it's really interesting. Not quite sure what I had in my head, but yeah, I didn't know that you basically mingle around with the other guests, eat breakfast with everyone at the morning. I mean, I guess it makes sense when you really think about it, but like I said, I've never been to one. The only places I've been to are hotels and motels. It's a little bit pricey at $150, $175. I'm really warming up to the idea, honestly. Maybe I'll give them a call.
Hello, you've reached Chalet Recording Studio and Chalet Communications. For assistance, please press 1. For David Chester, press 2. For Sheila Marie
Thanks for calling Chalet Studio and Chalet Claremont. I'm sorry we can't take your call right now, but if you leave your name, number, and a brief message.
Well, I tried. Oh, okay. I've got still 4 hours to go waiting for this thing. So I brought a book. I don't know why, but on these trips, the book I always wind up having in my queue to read is always a friggin' Jack Reacher book. So I've been sitting here reading. Still got a little less than an hour to go, and I'm working my way through this book pretty damn fast. I'll be surprised if I burn through the entire book by the time this trip's over, assuming I do the full 3 days. And that is the 5-hour timer for my e-bike battery charging. I was worried there for a sec. I thought I had a 1 kilowatt-hour battery, and it's only a 2-amp charger. So doing the math, that would have worked out to be a 10-hour charge time. Thankfully, in this case, I have the smaller battery. It's only the 700 watt-hour battery. Oh yeah, see? It's showing green on the charger, so it's fully charged. I'm happy with that.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Onward and upward through Lake 2. I've hiked these trails, but I haven't taken an electric bike down them, that's for sure. Very dangerous to do on a bike that doesn't have amazing brakes. Well, that was a rush. A lot of this trail is not rideable, and that's what I remember from being up here hiking. There's a stream right there. I think I'll refill my water bottles while I'm here. Lay that down right there, since the kickstand refuses to work. Okay. I switched to my water filter. And now comes the very time-intensive task of waiting for this to filter. That actually looks reasonably clean. And do the other one and then we'll hit the road again. Okay. Alright, back on the trail we go. Cool little bridge. And now we go up this lovely hill. All right. Oh, can we say Mike hates switchbacks? Okay, I think I'm on the right trail here. Oh, all right. Let us continue. Oh, this is much nicer than hauling this thing up a hill. There. This is nice and cruisy. Oh, that's a steep hill. Alright. Okay, so I think the game plan is I'm going to check that bed and breakfast one more time. See if they have any rooms available. Head straight there, if so, and then figure myself out from there. Otherwise, I'm gonna go into Claremont, which is where my next charging stop is. I'm gonna maybe charge for like an hour, get some food, like some takeout or something to boost my morale, which is kind of low right now, which seems to be always the case at the end of the first day on these sorts of trips. Because if I were to charge tonight, by the time I got out of here, it would be like 10 o'clock. So, yeah, I think I'll break camp bright and early in the morning, and then probably do a 25-kilometer day tomorrow, and then a 25-kilometer day on Sunday. All right, we're burning daylight hours. Let's skedaddle. Springtime mud. Okay. All right, through the muck. Shoes are getting a little wet. Oh man, this is brutal. Oh, my feet are wet now. Thanks, trail. Appreciate the soupy shoes. It wouldn't be the worst thing if I had to backtrack to here. I just have to make sure I'm well out of sight. It's so muddy. It's very tranquil, very serene in here. This is a nice hiking trail, but it's really tough with the bike. We've done about 38 kilometers. So we've done over a third of the distance of the Durham section of the TCT today. The second leg, going through all these back trails, that has really slowed me down. All right, well, I think this is where I'm gonna post up. I did a bit of a scouting mission. I need to dig in deep enough where people aren't gonna hear me. I gotta haul the bike with me. Oh, this is gonna suck. All right, let's do this before anybody comes. Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is home for the night. I think we'll wait till it gets a bit darker to set up the tent and everything. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna make some food. Man, as long as no one stumbles upon me and kick me out, I got pretty much everything I need here. A place to set up my tent, enough footprint for my tarp in case it rains. A place to take a dump. Yeah, I think it's good that I stopped for the day. I'm starting to get real homesick. Homestyle cheddar. I think that's what we're making. What do you need? Make sure that's nice and stable. I burnt the milk powder a little bit. This isn't gonna taste the greatest at all. So yeah, I think it's supposed to go down to 3 degrees tonight. It's gonna be a little chilly. So I got my long johns. I've got 2 layers for my sleep system. Like I said, I'm set down to -10, so I'm not too concerned. My bigger worry is actually getting spotted by someone. And I scratched my neck, and looking at my hands, I actually got a bit sunburnt today. I'm surprised. I keep my collar up and protect my neck. I did get some sunscreen for my warm weather kit. This is not my warm weather kit, so it's in my other backpack. It's in my other pants pocket. I'm not used to cooking this on the gas stove, so I had it up too high. It's going to be a very burnt meal. Oh, let's give this a try. It's going to be very burnt. Oh yeah, that's all you can taste is the burnt milk. So much for having a tasty meal. But at least it's food, and it's edible. Although the taste leaves something to be desired. I brought my 3D printed tent pegs for the job today. These are the tent stakes that I'm using. 3D printed at home on my 3D printer. Basic tent setup. Now to do the tarp. So here it is, my setup for the night. The reason I have this end lifted up is I'm going to put the bike under there, just in case it does rain overnight. Bike doesn't get rained on. Okay, there we go. Something tells me I'm going to need this tonight. My liner. Well, something tells me I should have brought bug spray. Because mosquitoes are out and about. I got ants crawling on me too. There. So, I've been doing a lot of hikes in these shoes, and the tread has completely worn down on the balls of my feet. Yeah, I might retreat into my tent sooner rather than later, just to get away from these damn ants. Ooh. I actually got myself an ouchie. I actually have a use for my first aid kit now. Antiseptic wipe. Are you kidding me? This antiseptic wipe is bone dry. What happened? It's tinder, not an antiseptic wipe. Alright, let's try a different one. There we go, this one's actually wet. That was dumb. It's just a little scrape out of my hand, but I don't want it to get infected while I'm out here. Polysporin and the Band-Aid should do the trick. Can't sit on the ground anymore, ants are climbing all over me. There, it doesn't have to hold long, just until tomorrow basically. So, first things first, I gotta get out of these wet socks. I got some woolies in here. Where are my woolies at? Oh. Yeah, that's definitely a claustrophobic tent, man. Trying to organize everything so that it's within arm's reach out of the tent and out of the rain if it rains. That's basically it. That's me for the night. I will see you guys in the morning. Peace. It is 5:50 in the morning. It's always churches for some reason that has the outlets that I charge at. Don't mind the napkin in the nose. I gave myself a nosebleed. Alright, I'm in desperate need of some water and a change of clothes. Well, that's it then. I got a flat tire. I am in the middle of the woods.